Essex, a helping hand with your land.
Neil from Essex here with today's 3-Minute Thursday. Today we're going to have a short conversation about your tire's rolling radius and how it impacts your four-wheel drive. Most guys are pretty attuned to the fact that there's a ratio between your front and rear tires so that when your four-wheel drive is turning, everything is turning without binding up the drive lines. What most guys aren't aware of, though, however, is that most of these four-wheel drive systems are set up to have what's called a lead. Your front tires are actually meant to spin about 3 to 5% faster than what your rear tires do. The intent of that is to help the steering of your tractor. If you go to steer in four-wheel drive, having that little bit higher rate of speed on your front tires helps pull the front of the tractor through the turns, making it more maneuverable. So when we look at used tractors, we'll often see that guys will go through 2 sets of front tires to 1 set of rear tires, and that lead is the reason why. That front tire spinning more quickly is going to wear differently because it's pulling and pawing at the ground, wearing it down more quickly. When you go to replace your tires, you always want to make sure you're replacing them both at the same time in order to maintain that lead. If you end up in a situation where one tire is now in a different size than the other, it plays in odd ways with your drive lines, putting weird tensions and stuff onto your tires, and so it's always good to keep that in mind. Don't say replace a front tire with something that's a different size because it's now going to throw that lead, throw that drive line out of whack and mess with the performance of your tractor. Probably the most common place where I've seen concerns with the rolling radius of a tire is on a skid loader. In a skid loader, you have one drive back here in the center of the machine with a chain that runs around both of the tires. Now, because of the kind of conditions that these machines work in, it's not unusual for the tires to wear fairly quickly or for them to get torn up by debris and stuff on the ground. It's a machine that runs in all kinds of nasty places. Fairly frequently, we will see a customer come in and try to replace 1 tire or 2 tires on a skid loader. And when they do that, they put 1 fresh, brand new tire on the back of the machine and 1 worn tire on the front of the machine. Now, if you think through that chain's wrapped around both of those tires back in the drive case, and as that machine is driving forward, that chain is going to turn both tires at exactly the same rate, even though they're 2 very different sizes. The end result of that is that you're constantly slipping that 1 tire, wearing it down very, very quickly and putting all kinds of strain back on the drive line of the machine. So if you have a skid loader and you need to replace 1 tire, buy 2. Do both tires and do them on the same side of the machine. If you have 2 worn ones, put them both on the same side. Don't go and say put 2 good tires on the back and 2 bad tires on the front. You need to keep the rolling radiuses of these tires the same, or as close as possible, on the left and the right hand side of the machine. So that's a little bit about rolling radiuses. So just keep that in the back of your mind if you're doing any kind of tire changes on your equipment. Think through whether you have four-wheel drive, whether you have a lead set up on your machine, or if a skid loader, exactly what's happening in that chain case depending on the tires that are on your machine. So if you have any issues with your tractors, you're looking for tires for your equipment, parts or service needs, give us a call at Messex, 800-222-3373, or online at Messex.com.